and Panhandle strong together. This is News 13 This Morning.
A former Bay County resident is behind bars after a reckless driving incident. You'll hear why the judge would not lower his bond. Plus, the city of Panama City spoke with residents about their plans to repair and improve the Cove area. We'll tell you how long phase 1 of the project is expected to take.
Professional athletes are in town to help your kids reach their dreams too. You'll find out what they could learn.
Now, your forecast first, sponsored by Bush. Better air, pure and simple.
Hey, good morning, everyone, and happy Friday to you. We're off to a bit of a cooler start this morning compared to yesterday, not only here in the Panhandle, but across majority of the lower 48 with temperatures in the 40s, 30s, 20s, even some 50s, and surprise, surprise, Miami is now at 67 degrees, the warm spot. While we feel the chill here in the Panhandle at 41 at the Panama City Airport, we have a pair of 39s from WPGX Springs to Mariana, 40 degrees in Blountstown, and looky there, forgot a 39 down in Apalachicola. A chilly start to the morning hours, but thankfully we're going to be trending upwards through the day today. Those temperatures will be pretty nice, not only for your Friday, but also the weekend. We'll talk more details in your full forecast.
All right, thanks, Kristen, and thank you for joining us here on News 13 on this Friday morning. I'm Chris Marchand. Kelsey Peck is out on an early morning assignment. Now, straight to your headlines. A former local resident is in the Bay County Jail this morning after he allegedly involved in a bizarre traffic disturbance. Several law enforcement agencies said he continually smashed his truck into the Hathaway Bridge. As News 13's Thomas Scholes shows us, it was all caught on video.
You're watching News 13 with Kelsey Peck, Chris Marchand, and meteorologist Kristen Kennedy.
Professional baseball players taking the field locally tomorrow. Blountstown High School's baseball team hosting a special event. News 13's Chloe Sparks joining us live from Blountstown High School's baseball field. So, Chloe, what are the pros there for?
Hey, good morning, everyone, and happy Friday to you. We are hanging out in the 30s and 40s this morning. In fact, over the past couple, half hour to an hour time span, we've seen those temperatures drop a bit further than earlier this morning, seeing upper 30s on the map, including the Panama City Airport, Blountstown, and Mariana. Now we're at 36 degrees in Mariana, 39 from Blountstown to the Panama City Airport, and Apalachicola, while Tallahassee gets closer to freezing, but thankfully temperatures no longer expected to drop. They will be on the climb through the remainder of the day today, especially with the clear sky out there, giving way to lots of sunshine. High pressure builds in across the southeast today as well. That is going to result in a really calm, really nice looking day. And I'll tell you what, just give it some time and it's going to feel nicer as well, especially as temperatures approach those 60s, getting to the upper 50s, low 60s around lunchtime. And overall high temperatures today should top out right around 65 degrees. This pattern is expected to continue heading into the weekend as well. A little bit of a change by Saturday and Sunday. Temperatures will continue to trend upwards with a warm front on the way. A cold front is trying to attempt its way down south early next week. It won't do a whole lot for us, but of course, for more details, you can head over to mypanhandle.com.
All right, thanks, Kristen. Well, Lynn Haven officials are taking steps to improve one of their biggest infrastructure problems, which is flooding. The city's current stormwater drainage system consists mostly of a network of roadside ditches. When weeds and vegetation clog the ditches, water backs up, the streets flood. But officials have seen promising results from a new product, canvas sheets infused with concrete. Once it's wet, the sheets harden to create a barrier that allows the water to flow. The city will install the concrete canvas over the next 10 years. Panama City residents got the opportunity to discuss plans for repairing and improving infrastructure in the Cove area. The major items discussed were replacing the water, sewer, and stormwater lines on the east-southeast point of the Cove. The work will include repaving the roads in that area and installing sidewalks. Phase 1 is expected to take just under a year and will cost about $4.2 million. Engineers have already designed Phase 2 of the project, and the city's applied for the permits.
And Panhandle strong together. This is News 13 Midday.
Coming up, a Bay County man behind bars following a deadly shooting in Panama City. Find out what investigators said happened and what charges he's now facing.
Most of WPGX Springs residents will soon have another city manager running the city. Find out which Walton County Commissioner threw his name in the hat for the position.
And the Bay County Legislative Delegation will hold a pre-session meeting tonight. Find out who will be there and when it begins.
Now, your forecast first. Sponsored by Bush. Better air, pure and simple.
Hey, good morning, everyone, and happy Monday to you. It's been a beautiful start today so far. Barely seeing any cloud cover out there much earlier this morning. Certainly none to see right now as we continue to take a live look out towards the east. We have a nice blue sky, lots of sunshine, and temperatures trending upwards. In fact, we're already at around 62 degrees downtown with the wind out of the north-northwest at around 10 or so miles per hour. Taking a look at temperatures across the Panhandle, still a few upper 50s out there in northern Walton County, where Definiak Springs sits at 58. It's 60 in Marianna, 62 in Blountstown, and already up to 67 in Apalachicola. Temperatures today are set to top out in the middle to upper 60s, but we have some warmer as well as cooler weather in your 7-day forecast.
I haven't stepped outside, so I'll take Kristen's word for it.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, the numbers are true for right now. I didn't make those up. But it feels pretty nice out there, and with a little bit of a breeze, it's at least helping to circulate the air. And if you're doing any outdoor activities, it will cool you down.
All right, sounds good.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us here on News 13 Midday. I'm Chris Marchand.
And I'm Kelsey Peck. Great to have you with us. We get straight to your headlines. This morning, a Bay County man facing murder charges after a shooting late Friday night.
According to the Panama City Police Department, witnesses identified 24-year-old Charles Kalk Jr. as the suspect. Officers found 42-year-old Timothy Kilgore shot in the chest in a wooded area on Mulberry Avenue and 13th Street around 9:30 Friday night.
You're watching News 13 with Kelsey Peck, Chris Marchand, and meteorologist Kristen Kennedy.
Well, students are returning to the University of Idaho campus for the first time since an arrest was made in the murder of 4 of their classmates. But several questions remain, including why it took so long for the roommates who survived the attack to call police. The lawyer for one of those roommates said the survivors are also victims of this heinous crime. ABC's Christy Alito has the details.
This morning, as University of Idaho students return to campus and prepare for classes to begin later this week.
I breathe a sigh of relief. I'm pretty sure that my mom did the same thing.
Walton County Sheriff's deputy is facing charges and more for allegedly stealing from an inmate. You'll hear what his former boss has to say about the investigation. Also, local law enforcement officers are reminding drivers about school zone safety. You'll hear how your cell phone could wind up getting you into trouble. And the Panama City Fire Department is unveiling some new technology. You'll hear how it will help them improve their abilities to respond to emergencies.
Live and Panhandle strong together. This is News 13 Live at 5.
A Walton County Sheriff's Office detention deputy has found himself on the other side of the jail cell. 37-year-old Jordan Tyler Rogers was fired and arrested after allegedly stealing $150 from an inmate.
You're watching News 13 with Amy Hoyt. First Alert Chief Meteorologist Ross Whitley. Sports with Sam Granville and Tom Lewis.
Sony and Honda are unveiling their joint electric vehicle project design. This is the Afeela. Sony's CEO says that the car combines Honda's know-how in automotives with Sony's image and entertainment expertise. The cars will be built at the Honda plant in the United States. The goal is to start taking pre-orders in early 2025 and start shipping them out to customers in 2026. A man accused of killing a sheriff's deputy over the Christmas holiday has been indicted. You'll get the latest on the investigation and find out what he's facing.
A Walton County Sheriff's Office detention deputy has landed himself in the Walton County Jail. We'll tell you what charges he's facing.
The Panama City Fire Department is upgrading their equipment. We'll tell you how the new tools will make first responders' jobs easier.
Live and Panhandle strong together. This is News 13 at 6.
The man accused of killing an Okaloosa County Sheriff's deputy has now been charged with first-degree murder. 43-year-old Timothy Price Williams is accused of shooting and killing Corporal Ray Hamilton during a standoff on Christmas Eve. Hamilton and 3 other Okaloosa deputies came to Price Williams' home to investigate a domestic violence incident. But they say that Price Williams refused to leave the home and threatened deputies when they tried to convince him to surrender. Price Williams allegedly fired several shots at the deputies, one of them hitting and killing Hamilton. The state attorney's office announced the indictments this afternoon.
You're watching News 13 with Amy Hoyt. First Alert Chief Meteorologist Ross Whitley. Sports with Sam Granville and Tom Lewis.
Defensive driving and awareness is always a smart way to go when you're behind the wheel, but local law enforcement officers are reminding drivers to be a little extra careful coming up next week. You see, most local students will be heading back to school after the long Christmas break. As News 13's Alex Schley tells us, state troopers say they're concerned about more than just speeding through those school zones.
We're looking forward to a really nice weekend with high pressure settling in, but there will be some cool temperatures and some slight rain chances on tap.
A Walton County Sheriff's Office detention deputy has landed himself in the Walton County Jail. We'll tell you what charges he's facing.
Plus, the man accused of killing a sheriff's deputy over Christmas has been indicted. You'll get the latest on this investigation and find out what he's facing.
Students are getting ready to go back to school this upcoming Monday. We'll tell you what local officials say to remember when driving through school zones.
Live from Panama City, this is Fox 28 News at 9.
Good Friday evening, and thank you all for joining us tonight on Fox 28 News at 9. I'm Brennan Reh. Topping our news tonight, a Walton County Sheriff's Office detention deputy has found himself on the wrong side of the bars. Investigators say he stole money from an inmate. As Fox 28's Emma Riley tells us, the deputy has lost his job and his 20-year career.
You're watching Fox 28 with Brennan Reh. Sports with Sam Granville and First Alert Chief Meteorologist Ross Whitley.
It's been 2 years since the storming of the U.S. Capitol. President Biden is marking the anniversary by bestowing medals on some who defended the building that day. As Fox News correspondent Madeline Rivera reports, after a Democratic-led House committee spent a year looking into the riot, Republicans have their own plans to investigate what happened.
An Okaloosa County man is recovering from a gunshot wound, but he's also facing charges. You'll find out why authorities say he did it to himself. Also, a grand jury has indicted a man for the murder of a sheriff's deputy. You'll hear why prosecutors say they'll explore every possible punishment.
Students are getting ready to go back to school this upcoming Monday. We'll tell you what local officials say to remember when driving through school zones.
Live and Panhandle strong together. This is News 13 at 10.
The man accused of killing an Okaloosa County Sheriff's deputy has now been charged with first-degree murder. The grand jury indicted 43-year-old Timothy Price Williams in the Christmas Eve shooting death of Corporal Ray Hamilton. Hamilton and 3 other Okaloosa deputies responded to a domestic violence call at Price Williams' home. They say he refused to leave the house, then threatened the deputies when they tried to convince him to surrender. Price Williams allegedly fired several shots at the deputies, hitting and killing Hamilton.
You're watching News 13 with Amy Hoyt. First Alert Chief Meteorologist Ross Whitley. Sports with Sam Granville and Tom Lewis.
More than 1,000 startups are showcasing their products at CES 2023 in Las Vegas. This is one of the largest consumer electronics shows in the entire world. One of these days I want to go to this thing. Companies large and small are hoping to create some buzz around their gadgets as well as capture the attention of potential investors.
Following is a commercial program paid for by Perry & Young. The opinions and views expressed belong to its sponsors and are not those of WMBB, Nexstar Media, Inc., the station, or their affiliates or employees.
Live, this is LawCall.
Good evening and welcome everybody. Again, Happy New Year. Welcome back to LawCall here on WMBB and also up in Dothan, Alabama. We're simulcasting tonight. We're here taking your legal questions. It's all about injuries tonight. So you can talk about auto accidents, car accidents, trip and falls, slip and falls, workplace harassment, medical malpractice, everything across the board. Give us a call. Phone lines are open, 850-392-1544. And if you don't want to be on the line, you can also email us at lawcall@WMBB LawCall at WMBB.com. Ted Howell, how are you doing tonight, buddy?
It's good. I'm glad to be here with Larry Perry. I mean,
I know I've been away so long. I had to Google and get the ways to get back to the studio. But
it's just good to get to see you in person.
It's been a wild time. For those of y'all who don't know, the last several weeks we've been involved in some heavy litigation and getting prepared, even doing depositions on Saturdays and Sundays. And that's not common, by the way, but because these cases were coming up for trial, we had to do that. And I was the huckleberry. I was the guy that was doing them. So kind of wore out on Sunday nights and couldn't make it in. So you guys pitched in and covered for me, and I appreciate it very much. But I'm back. I'm back in the saddle and going to be here for a few weeks in a row, it looks like. But we've got an email question. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. And then I think we've also got a call online already, Ted.
Yes, let's take them.